Hi guys. I don't even know what day it is, so I don't care really. I don't know what's going on, so I get sick, whatever, I don't care. So, okay, we're gonna finish the last of the traditional witchcraft, the inner journey. So this is really interesting stuff, and so hopefully you guys can see past what's going on with my head. So yeah, here we go. So, okay, this is the soundless language and the conjuring the familiar, which I thought was extremely incredible. So, okay, so this is just the end of this. So, I mean, this is Robin Artisan. So, I mean, he is amazing. Love that man. So, here we go. I thought I might end with some notes about the soundless language and the art of real invocation. So saying words out loud is powerful. They are given life by your soul wind, and have sorceress value. But I have discovered that after such words are said, or even if they are not said, my familiar spirits, I don't know that word, Megstilius, don't respond as strongly unless I use the soundless language, the heart language to call them. That's the heart breath that you can find in the union of Isis and Thoth. It will teach you the heart breath. This is basically what this is. I love it. I should be doing it today because it's very good for your body, healing. So, and when you have done the Wraith prayer and are no longer just a body, when you have a strong sense and a connection with the spirit trunk in you, you are in a perfect position to use this soundless language. And I love soundless language because you don't have to say crap. I mean, it's true, it's good stuff. And it's quite simple. So you don't use words at all, you use feelings. So it's hard to describe, it works in several ways. So let yourself sink down the spirit trunk and come out under you a bit and inside of the whole world under you, and feel. You have to really feel into the whole world, whatever it is that you want to communicate to the spirit you are trying to conjure. So it does sound funny, but it works. If you want your familiar to come to your presence, to fly down your skull hole, take up residence inside you, or flying into you some other way, you go down, exit a bit, sink into things until you feel about connection with everything. And you have to feel the connection with everything, so. The whole world, seen and unseen. And just for the spirit, just long for the spirit. Feel the genuine longing you have for it to be near, and it will come. So, but I mean, keeping that faith, keeping that in you, and really realizing that that's what you have to do is hard. So it's practice. You have to practice. So, it's liberating to not have to say anything. It really is to just let your feelings, speak for you. If you're troubled because you can't pay your rent and are about to be homeless and are working to find extraordinary resources to get around this problem, even prayers to the powers can be translated into the language of the heart, into the soundless language. Let yourself feel the sorrow and depression and frustration of your situation and present it to them. Feel it out there. They already know what's wrong. So this is another way of communicating that you need help. So it's really cool. So now, as far as desire can reach, the longing for the master is an invocation to him. So, just it is for the familiar powers, or the magisteli, whatever. They will come up from the depths and enter you, or feel closer, perhaps below you, but near you. So, if they will come. I mean, if he says, I can't speak for what other spirits may or may not do for you personally, so obviously, everybody knows that. Another way of communicating with the unseen, which I find profoundly powerful, doesn't even involve having to do the Wraith prayer. Just bring up your awareness of your bodily sensations and speak or whisper into the sensation. Speak consciously into your sensation, and you will discover that it echoes into the unseen quite strongly. Remember, your bodily sensation is a tiny bit of sensation thrust out from the great ocean of power that is in the unseen and the underworld, and it is connected to it. So, speaking into the depths of your sensation is like speaking into a portal directly into the mouth of the world depths. I can't even talk, I can't concentrate, nothing. So I thought this was pretty neat. This was really, really neat. I loved this. I loved this entire thing with him. Okay, so, yeah, a lot of Robin Artison articles, and he is very, very amazing. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? He is just one profound person. He is a really profound man. Okay, so here's a little interesting, interesting thing from the Resurrection of the Meadow. So, the secret granary in the cup that must be broken. So, for all people out there who are looking to spiritual systems, whether esoteric, exotic, esoteric, or who look to sorceress systems and metaphysical pursuits to make themselves into better people, find peace, increase their overall well-being, and to them I say keep looking and good luck. So, exoteric religions alone among those various tenets or interests, it gives someone the impetus or inspiration they need to become good, at least according to some specific definition unique to the religion, but the rest of those pursuits aren't really about that. So, the practice of sorcery, in any of its genuine recensions, isn't primarily about moral growth or peace and tranquility, though some people may, by happenstance of fate, find some element of that inside it, but you can come looking for that, or you really won't find it, and for an important reason. So, I've found it, but it's taken me a long time, so it's different for everybody. So, sorcery, where'd I go? Sorcery is impossible to pin down, just like the wind. So, few people have the constitution to deal with such an insubstantial art, such as, unpredictable and indescribable metaphysical reality. But far from discarding sorcery or the pursuit of it, most people take the other route. They just change it to suit them. By changing it, by telling the wind that it has to be earth now, they actually lose it altogether. But they keep holding on to something they describe as sorcery. So you'll know these people easily if you keep your mind on the wind. They tend to talk a good deal, but yield nothing in the way of tangible results. And I see that every single day. Yesterday was a very good example of that. Very good example of that. It was found yesterday, and I won't go into that, but yeah, you can't tell the earth that it has to be wind now, or the wind that it has to be earth. So, alright, so, can the intangible yield tangible results? So I must say it can, but its results are often very subtle, so don't feel let down when the results aren't subtle. They are visible and unquestionable as a thunderstorm, but sorcery, like wisdom, is good at hiding, so and good at avoiding people who aren't yet ready to like the wind. It scorns people of inflexible concepts, so who have to have everything explained and locked down. So it looks kindly upon the people of fire and wind. And this insubstantial nature of sorcery is more profoundly insubstantial than you think. So sometimes, right when you think you don't have it, is when you discover that you do. Every day. Literally every day. So, sometimes, or oftentimes, it may, in my experience, the unplanned workings, the unplanned and rather spontaneous trances, visions, conjurations, and marks are the most powerful, and that's true too. Sometimes, not all the time. So, that should trouble anyone who wants a formula book. Formula books are only good for one thing. They orient the mind and describe the desire and the mind and the desire towards the sorcerer's worldview and the aesthetic. So after that, if you are lucky, the magic comes and begins to find you, largely spontaneously. So our friends in the Golden Dawn type magical lodge working are champions at planning out every detail of a magical work. For the wicked life of me, I can't begin to imagine how they can be magic, as I have come to understand it. It may almost be yogic, sort of mind conditioning, a transformative practice in some ways, but certainly not sorcery in the ancient and the visceral sense. I love that right there. Thank you, Robin Hardison. If you ever watch this, you're amazing. Thank you for all of your work. So, it is, if it's authentic sorcery you want, as the ancients had it, you have to be able to do impossible things like tying the winds together, or making a dead tree come back to life, maybe braiding the hair of a toad. Have you ever seen a hairy toad? Or capturing the sound of a cat's football in your left hand might be called for at times. So these impossible tasks force a person's mind into a helpless quandary, which is right where you want to be. Paradox? Yes. Big time paradox. It's full of paradoxes. So, but an initiatory one. Ordinary people don't want to be confused or helpless or befuddled. The sorcerer knows how to adjust to those kinds of situations and make them work, because like air, like the wind, they can take any shape, move around any obstacle, fly over any mountain, cut through any person, and over time even wear the great mountains down to sand. So helplessness can be strength, silence can be noise, death can be life. This is so interesting. So, very interesting. You should welcome challenges as a test of sorceress cunning. So, welcome them. Yes, always welcome these challenges, because this is just proving to the old ones that we're here. We're doing our magic. We believe, we have faith. So, where'd I go? An opportunity to learn and sharpens one subtle skill. So the problem with the above-mentioned sorceress tasks isn't that they may be impossible, but that you are reading them and thinking about them while connected to your red fetter, your body. So in reality, the body isn't a trap, it's a fetter, literally. But until you learn to use your white body, your wind body, the witch's flying world, with a few simple rules. Rules that don't include tying, gases, or clutching at sounds. So, in that limited way of seeing, the body seems like a big weight holding you down and limiting you to space-time gravity, and the never-ending struggle of wealth versus poverty and health versus illness. But the wind body, it can transcend the apparent rules quite easily as a breeze passing by you in the night. Interesting, isn't it? Alright, now. So the soul, the wind body, is a granary full of grains of power, countless powers, countless capacities, many which have been named before, all gathered inside the silo of a body that you bathe and feed and give medicine to when it feels bad. So, ever notice how taking care of the ordinary body is precisely like keeping a pet? We respond quite carefully to our bodily pains and wants. Yes, but never to our soul's needs and wants, at least not often. So unlike your body pet, the soul won't die on you one day. However, unless you've gotten used to living and experience the world in that sorceress wind body by the time you die, you will miss your pet greatly and be painted by it, maybe confused, maybe lost. Makes sense. So, the soul is the secret granary of witchery. So, but every collection of great grains needs a silo to house it. So the body is an anchor to completeness. So there is no soul good, body bad logic to be found in real sorcery. There is no ignore the senses logic either, as we have seen. So the senses are tied to the body, making your body, like your soul, a sorcerer's vessel. It's just a vessel that has a particular destiny, while the soul has another. For this meeting we call a lifetime. A full being has expressed itself, and that is a being of fearful terrors and many wonders. Very interesting. So, if you're only living from the red body, the body of blood and tissues, sorcery is just a bunch of words and lame, weird ideas, so there is no explanation for it that will suit you at all. When you engage the white and the red soul and body, you start to realize the uncomfortable truth. Sorcery has no actual hard and fast rules. It doesn't work on logic. It works because the world is sorceress, and you by nature, are also sorceress, and because in such nature, strange things occur pretty regularly. So, think about why your magic doesn't work. Right there. So, you have to pay attention to their occurrences. They flow here and there, mostly unpredictable, but sometimes not, and leap into their weird flowing. You have to be ready to have faith. Some sorcerous occurrences are signaled by subtle events that lead up to them, synchronicity. And you have to take a chance at them. So you have to recognize them, learn to recognize them. So to be very aware, very awake, very attentive with all of your senses. So every real sorcerer is a master or mistress of opportunity. They don't miss much, and I know what they are all looking for, the secret that makes magic really work, something I call the authentic moment, or the owl's blink. An owl blink is a folkloric name for the curse, a curse, or a harmful hexing, but as a swift, silent, sudden occurrence, which really can't be predicted, it's another name I give, the magical authentic moment. I like that. So at this moment, which happens when it will, is one of the sorceress of your real power to bring about sorcery. It is a moment in which many insubstantial threads all get tied together and coincide just right, just perfect. You've experienced them before, so trust me, but the more aware and awake you make yourself, the more you see the soul, the more you'll see these special moments, are moments when anything can really be possible. So that is really interesting. I love that. The synchronicity, follow those synchronistic posts. You know, you see synchronicity, act on it. So you are literally, yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. Alright, so this is the final truth at the bottom of the bag of a sorceress cunning. So the authentic moment is something you search for, something you can live in joyful anticipation of. You can't search for it without inspiration, without a passionate love for the aesthetic of sorcery, the mystical and the insubstantial. You have to be excited for this kind of strange pursuit. Always. You have to love it, of course, always. You have to be excited, and without even planning it, you'll feel that sorceress moment coming for you. There, at night, alone, as the winds pound on the trees, your imagination will suddenly flare up, quite outside of your control, filling your visions of the pale people moving quietly through the crust of the earth outside, and you want to go to them. So some of them look like dead people because, well, they are, and you've known them. Others have unearthly beauty, and some unearthly ugliness. So you'll feel like you're as light as a feather, a leaf on the wind, and you'll dream. Oh, and you'll dream or just fly through your window on the wind. So fly right into their company. You'll have insights about things you needed insights on. You'll have spontaneous emotional reactions, and just like that, maybe in minutes, maybe in an hour, you'll be you again. Things will seem more ordinary again, but you will know that this is very real. It doesn't feel the same as what you might call an idle imagination. You felt the chill in your spine. You know of it. Well, you know that. For a brief moment, a series of moments, your soul went away and danced with the otherworldly things, and this experience can never be repeated. It's pretty cool. So no real sorcerer's work is ever repeated precisely as it was before. No. Just as no wind blows the same way twice, and no river flows the same way in the same place twice. So to grasp the sorceress' authentic moment is to drink from the cup that must be broken, the ancient vessel of sacrifice that was destroyed as soon as it was used. So this sacrifice was never repeated, although I always knew, always evergreen, anytime it was done. So no authentic sorcerer's work is repeatable, because the condition that made it possible at the moment it was possible are gone forever. So new conditions may arise in the future. You may even conjure up some of those conditions when you get powerful, but they'll be different each time too. And there are so many conditions, seen and unseen, that create every authentic sorcerer's moment. So you can't grasp them or the magical moment unless You first become aware of them. Becoming a seer, using the senses and body and soul property, is thus required first before a person becomes a doer, a worker of the art. So you have to just, you really have to become in tune with your senses, big time. So this is interesting stuff. This is very interesting stuff. I love it. So thank you, Robin Artisan, for that wonderful article. It was amazing. And it's very true. It works. It's very, very, very true. So you have to just, senses and just really get in tune with yourself and go outside and, meditate on all the elements. Do everything that you possibly can. Earth magic, all of that, because it works. And when it does, and when you find that out, it's wonderful. It really is. So, but alright guys, I've done enough. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day. I love you all very much, with all my heart. All the way from Venus, all the way back down. There we go. I thought being sick would make me lose, a pound or two. No, I probably gained like 5, so. But alright guys, I love you all, and thank you for watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So, I love you all, and thank you.